do a few demonstrations on some new gold pans. This is the new production gold pan from Gold Claw. And it's big enough you can run production. You could run a ton of material through there in 1 hour easily. But it's a little bit big for the little samples we've got, so we're not going to use this one today. We have the original size Gold Claw. We ordered that in blue, a few different colors, green, blue, black. We got the blue ones because I think you can see the gold and black sands really well against blue. So that's the regular size. You can sample with that, or the pocket sampler. Now that you can literally stick in your pocket like the guy shows, and you can take that out anywhere in your pocket. That's for sampling very small amounts like we have today. So either the original or the pocket sampler will work on the little amounts we have. Now for material, a vial of gold bearing sands that they send with your Gold Claw combination kit. We got the combination kit. So they sent that, plus snuffer bottle, gold jar, gold bottle. That's it. When you join the GPAA, they send you a bag of gold bearing sand. You put it in the vitamin E bottle, and they send you this snuffer. And along with gold sand, GPAA sends you a large pan and medium-sized pan. I think that's like a 10. This is probably a 14. And we had already bought a couple of Garrett Super Sluices. I'm going to take those out to Arizona. All these are going to Arizona. And one more pan I ordered off of eBay because I wanted a pan. This is, I believe, a 14-inch. I wanted a pan with coarse riffles on one side. These are actually medium. And then the fine riffles on the other side. There's a big difference in how you use pans. The biggest difference is how you use a standard pan, which is like this. Normally you put your sample in here, your material. You wet your material down, and what they'll do is they'll first shake it, shake your material to get the gold to drop to the bottom, and then they go around and around in circles and shaking anything to get the gold to drop down through the sand. And if you notice, it makes a big mess. When you're shaking, there's a big mess. Swirling isn't so bad, but shaking will throw water all over your living room like we're doing here. That's the standard or traditional pan. Now with the Gold Claw, you don't do that. When you put your sample in there, this is used under the water at all times. You never lift it out of the water. With the standard pan, they're lifting it right out of the water and using it above the water. I think you should actually use the standard pan under the water, just like you use the gold claw. And what you do in the gold claw is you put your sample in, you keep it under the water at all times, and you shake it back and forth, tipping it up until it's about vertical. And you dump your materials back in there, you turn it around to the fine riffle side, medium to fine, and you do the same thing, but you're moving it back and forth. You're not picking it up and swirling it around and stuff above the water. It stays under the water at all times. I believe that even your standard pans should be used under the water, not above the water. So we can go ahead and test a sample of the sands they send us from Gold Claw. This is their sample vial. Got water in the pan. Take their sample, dump it in. And see sand, a little bit of clay, some little rocks. You want to start out with your coarse riffles on that side. So you just go back and forth like that. You can see it's already starting to move to this side. And you continue to tip it forward. Keep it underwater. The fine sand is already washing away. The rocks are washing away. So continue to shake it back and forth until you're about vertical on that. And we'll do the same thing on the fine side. Sand in there. Don't have to You don't have to classify material ahead of time with this pan. It classifies automatically. And if you look real closely, there's fine gold right down there, and all your fine riffles. There's all your gold. So now we're going to demonstrate the pocket sluice, pocket gold claw system, pan sluice, kind of a hybrid. So we got all the material from that pan in here. So we'll go through and do the same thing they recommended, and work underwater. Once it's vertical, then you work it on the fine side. again, your gold is right there. That's all your fine gold.
Oh, yeah.
So we're first time users. This is the first time we've ever used these pans, so we're getting to know how they operate. But they're definitely capturing the fine gold right in there. You can see it. Pour some of that water off. And you can see it right along there.
Yeah.
Get some pieces all along that edge. Use the gold claw bundle. Big pan, the original pan, and the pocket pan. Doesn't get all the gold, but it gets a pretty good amount, maybe 80%, which is good enough. So, till next time, see you later. Now we're going to try using a conventional pan with medium to fine riffles, but we'll try to use it underwater like the gold claw technique. So we'll put this underwater. Now start shaking it. You notice we're not shaking it down in the pan, we're not swirling it, we're just shaking it back and forth to get all the heavy stuff off. And that's about as far down as we want to go there. And we'll try it on the fine side, just going back and forth underwater. Keeping it underwater. That's probably fine enough. Yeah. Look.
Well,
Right up in here.
yeah.
It's about the same amount of gold as we had in the gold claw. Worked really well to shake it back and forth. That kind of washes off all the fine sand. Anyway, you have about the same amount of fine gold using that underwater back and forth shaking technique.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even bother we didn't classify, we didn't do anything except shake the pan back and forth underwater. So that definitely works. I like the underwater technique. Seems to work a lot better than picking up the pan, violently shaking it around, swirling it a whole bunch of times, and then doing that washing technique with the water washing over the lip. No, we just did two things. We shook it back and forth underwater across the coarse riffles towards just about vertical, and we turn it around, get the underwater shaking, back and forth shaking across the fine riffles. And that's all it took. A lot less energy, a lot less time. Works for me. See you later.